Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Victor, your flight attendant. Every week I talk about how to travel in better conditions. Today we're going to talk about a medical subject, so this is Victor Health channel for once. We're going to talk about DVT. Welcome aboard. So DVT, sometimes we call it the economy syndrome, and it's nothing that happen only in economy. It actually could happen also in any other class, but DVT is when you have a blood clot in your deep veins, and usually the main reason of that is because you haven't moved much, and on these economy seats year after year they become more and more narrow, and leg room is becoming something smaller and smaller, and this is where you can develop this kind of issue. So that's why it's called more the economy syndrome. When you're flying in premium, first, or business, your seats are bigger, so you're more likely to move a little bit around, and then you should not have such a problem, but it could still happen. So what's happening? You've got this blood clot in your veins, and then in case they break, those small pieces of the clot might end up around your lungs or your heart, and you can have a pulmonary embolism. So that's something very serious to think about. Of course it doesn't happen that often, but over the last few years I've read a study, pretty much one American out of 1,000 had the DVT. So there's a few ways you can avoid this, and here are some few tips. First one is to move around the cabin as often as possible. If you're doing a short flight, which I mean 2 to 3 hours, you're quite unlikely to have an issue, unless you've been on a connecting flight and you've been sitting for a terminal for hours and then another flight before for hours, then that becomes a small issue. But if you have a long flight, once in a while it's nice to move around the cabin. Please make sure the seatbelt sign is actually off if you go to the cabin. Couldn't see how many people think, oh, I'm just going to the toilet, but seatbelt sign is on, that'll be fine. You're on your way to the toilet, you can fall on someone else. Turbulence can happen even when you are inside the toilet. The plane is still flying. So please remain seated if the seatbelt sign is on, but when it's off, you're free to move around the cabin. Just have a walk up and down the aisle, go around the galley. Avoid yoga. Yoga in a galley is not a good idea. Yoga in a plane is never a good idea, because usually you will be on a balanced position. You'll say you're in a warrior, and then there's sudden turbulence, and what's going to happen? You may fall forward, back, there's going to be wall partitions, everything is small in a plane, and you could injure yourself. So yoga is not a good thing. Something funny, each time I fly to China, I get some passengers come around the galley and they walk in the aisle in the galley and they do that all the time, very, very deep. Don't know if it does anything good or bad, but that's something I've seen. Maybe it could work for you. You can try it. But just keep on walking once in a while. If you're watching a TV series, between each episode, just have a walk in the cabin, up and down for 5 minutes, and then go back to your seat, or in between two movies. Also avoid to do that when it's a meal service. It's just because we are with the carts in the cabin, and you're going to be stuck behind us or in front of us. You won't be able to get back to your seat, and then yeah, it's never a really pleasant time to do so. But rest of the flight, feel free to move. Second tip, stay hydrated, and by hydrated I don't mean wine. I know you may want a glass of wine on board, and it's fine to have one or two, but be careful. Alcohol in altitude have side effects, and you get drunk way faster, and a drunk passenger is like a threat for everybody on the plane. So just limit your quantity of alcohol. That's going to dehydrate you anyway, so maybe 1 or 2 glasses is enough. Tea and coffee also are not very good idea, especially if you want to sleep. Like, how many people have a coffee when we're going to put the lights off and sleep? I don't think it's such a good idea. You want to sleep. But anyway, also that's going to dehydrate you. So water is the best drink. Have some water on a regular basis. As a crew, usually I will have a big bottle of water every 3 hours. So I drink a lot. That means I have, even if I'm a passenger, I refill my bottle very often. I'll drink as often as I can. That means I have to go to the toilets very often. That means I move. So it's a whole circle, and then you avoid DVT. And your body is hydrated, so the blood is flowing a little bit better. Last thing, you can buy those specific socks that will help you. They're on sale usually in any pharmacy. You can find them at the airport too, but usually airports will be happy to sell them for like triple the price that you will find in normal pharmacy. So get those socks. They're not the nicest fashionable socks, but they do a small compression on your leg, and that means it simulates the circulation of the blood. So it's always nice to have if you're going to be a passenger for a long flight, and under trousers or under a dress, no one will see how ugly usually they are. But it's a very good investment. It couldn't hurt anyway to have them. Also, something you can do do is exercise on your seat, and I'm not saying you can do a gym exercise, but there's some really cool videos of in-flight movement you can do on your seat without moving. I'll just put a little bit from Qantas airline, the Australian airline. Here are a few images, but I'll put a whole link to the video below, so feel free to click and see what you can do. And even if you don't have this video with you on board, you can write the exercise on your phone or your tablet, and once you're on the plane you can actually redo them by yourself. If you have a DVT, you're going to start to feel a pain in your leg, you're going to see the vessels, everything will probably be more reddish. The important thing is not to massage the area. Don't do it because you might break the clot, and this way it can go anywhere in your system. So leave it as is. Just ask for help for a cabin crew. My page for doctor usually will put your leg a little bit higher, and with cushions, pillows, whatever we can find, blankets. And we're going to leave it as is. We'll put you on oxygen because again that's going to stimulate your whole body for circulation, and then we're going to seek assistance on arrival, so you may go and see a doctor. They might do a scan to see where it is, if it's really a DVT, and then they will help you to get rid of it through some medical treatments. But it's important, if you feel any pain, to let the crew know, and then we're going to try to help you as much as we can with what we have on board. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumb up. You can actually also share it with someone who might be traveling soon, could be very helpful. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button, which is around here. There's already something like 240 videos on my channel, but half of them are French, a little bit more than half of them are actually French, but it's still quite a few playlists with something that could be interesting if you like traveling. And then on that subject, I'll see you next week. Oh yeah, last question. I might split my French and English channel, so this channel might become French because I have more French viewers, but continue to create the same thing, but it might become a different channel. So I'll keep you posted in the next few weeks. But yeah, stay tuned and stay on board on this channel, and you will get all the information. See you. Oh.